In the last session, we followed the Nine Hells Company as they prepared for a night of rest in Elminster's pocket dimension of Sanctuary, before heading to Cedarsbrook in search of Asarak's phylactery. Before going to bed, Fiddle decided to take a stab at contacting Shah after learning Asarak had usurped her divine mantle. He found nothing but a black mass in front of him, and decided to contact Asarak himself. That led Fiddle to the same place. Asarak casted a feeble mind spell on Fiddle that caused a ruckus within Sanctuary, as Fiddle's mind had become that of an unintelligible animal. The party had to restrain him, and Storm Silverhand, a chosen of Mistra, wished the feeble mind away, and demanded a demonic artifact Fiddle held that had ties to the Lich himself. Fiddle refused, and the party found themselves in a disagreement before relations quickly soured, and they found themselves charging out of Sanctuary. John Claude on the back of Soleil in a werewolf form, and Fiddle on the back of Gregory's phantasmal steed, magical steed, one of them, his paladin steed. They were chased by centaurs and dragonborn as they re-emerged in Shadowdale through the lake portal. They quickly took flight and found refuge in an old abandoned farm. There, Gregory had a dream of the false watcher with the soul of his wife. Soleil had a dream of her time in Luskan as the wolf and trying to overpower it. In the morning, they decided to teleport to Cedarsbrook, but the glyphs didn't work how Fiddle intended, taking a lot of damage along the way before the party ended up in a different forest entirely. The Forest of Grandlore, located on the island of Ilogon, the home of the Emerald Enclave, and that is where we rejoin the party.
Did you need to sneeze the entire time?
I had something stuck in my throat. I've been eating muffins.
There's a little muffin stuck in your throat.
Yeah, it was. But that's staying in now. So, Nine Hells. As you're standing in the forest, you've managed to ascertain with Fiddle throwing the flying monkey up in the air and seeing that you are on an island and reiterating all the information that you saw. John Claude was able to ascertain geographically where you were on the island of Ilogon, which was one of two islands that made up the Eyes of Sylvanus. It was located near Alagon, which is where John Claude has his bakery. You identified a settlement near on the other side of the island where you saw Druids were rushing into the forest, seemingly reacting to something recently entering. As the flying monkey, FM, comes down and you revert back into your form, you see in the sky the tree canopies are very closed in where you're standing, but you can see gaps in it, and through the gaps in the sky you see the clouds start to part and they form words reading, "Trespassers, surrender and answer to the Emerald Enclave," and they just float up in the sky. As you all wipe the bead of sweat from your brow, you realise it's very humid in this forest, very hot, compared to all the frosty cold of winter's coming that you've recently been experiencing. It's very hot and tropical in this island. You see all around you is bushes, trees and dense foliage. You see squirrels dart from tree to tree, hedgehogs waddle from bush to bush, and insects fly all around in this almost claustrophobic environment. You feel the little ground beneath you start to crawl and shift as dark roots start to fill the forest around you, making it very difficult to walk around as the roots lift up and almost forming like hands sort of latch onto your feet, not strong enough to hold you there, but you can like kind of tug away, but you find yourself a bit more restrained than you were before, as this forest seems in itself alive. What are you all doing?
I smack a bug that's on my neck and go, well, this is a bit of a change of pace, isn't it? I magically make myself a fan that I like flip out and start fanning myself.
Okay, Fiddle, so you clash your hands together and go to pull them apart to create the fan, and you, as you pull your hands together, nothing appears.
Interesting. Can I roll an Arcana check?
Yes, you can.
Nice. That's a 26.
Okay. What are you trying to ascertain?
Why my spell didn't work?
Okay. So this one's quite interesting because your magic's there. It's just more suppressed. It feels almost similar to, and you've heard of these. Fiddle yourself might have actually experienced them briefly. Like dead magic zones throughout Faerun that occur. They're sort of like naturally dead zones for magic where the weave is just being destroyed. This seems to resemble some of that, but the thing is, the magic is still there. It's just more suppressed. You don't know whether if you maybe travel to some other part of the island, it might start working, or maybe it's the island itself that's suppressing it. You're not really sure, but with an Arcana check specifically, that's all you can kind of ascertain. It's like the weave is there, it's just sort of like suppressed.
I relay that to the rest of the party, and then fire a firebolt into the sky.
Okay. Just the sparks emit from your finger, but no fireball appears. Or firebolt.
Interesting. This could be quite bad, guys. This could be pretty bad.
As you're now hearing throughout the tree line and all the canopies, you're just hearing these like strange animal noises, and you're hearing this kind of carrying through. And again, it's so dense around here, you can't really ascertain where it's coming from. It's just kind of bouncing all around the forest.
I take it you can't do Learmon's tiny hut?
I don't think I can. It'll take 10 minutes to try.
I don't think we have that kind of time.
We all maybe roll stealth and you maybe roll a perception check to look around. In case people are like descending upon us right now.
Yes, give me 1 second, make some conversation with the guys.
Everyone, get down. Can we all drop to the floor slightly, maybe go onto one knee, just make ourselves small?
Okay, there's a lot of like bushes around, so you can drop yourself so you're like literally like just underneath a bush now. But you're constantly getting all these critters like flying up to like your like shoulders and kind of nipping you a bit. It's very
interesting.
Close.
Interesting. Do we think that noise was a horn?
I mean, it could be any number of things. There's a lot of noises like carrying through here. Animal noises. It potentially could have been a horn. But it does seem sort of like...
Could I roll a nature check to see whether it was made by a mortal race or whether it was made by an animal?
Sure, yeah. Roll me a nature check.
No, it's got an 11.
11. You're not too sure.
Could have been anything. Could have been anything.
It did sound like a horn. And, people don't generally just blow horns for the hell of it. But, also, they could do here. Who knows?
Could I use an action?
You are allowed to do that, yes. You've got no more actions for the rest of the campaign.
Excuse me, God. Oh, shit. I'm mad.
That means the world ends in the next 6 seconds.
Yeah, what would you like to do?
Primeval Awareness, please. As an action, you can expend 1 ranger spell slot to sense whether any abbreviations, celestials, dragons, elementals, fae, fiends, or undead are present within 1 mile of you.
Within 1 mile, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Or 6 miles within favoured terrain, which it is.
It is favoured terrain. Okay, so describe to me how John Claude would do this.
Picks up some mud and just
Yeah.
plants his face in it.
Yeah, I find some bear shit, pick it up in my hands, scoop it up with both hands, close to my... then I give it a little lick, and then from that I can deduce... actually, I can't. It doesn't reveal creature's location or number.
Yeah, you just know if there is presence of a certain creature type. But good to know. See,
JC, what does the whiff of shit tell you?
It tells me. Hang on. I just need to... Wait. Oh, it's coming from God now. I can feel it. Okay, God, go.
So within 6 miles, you do get a sense definitely of elementals on this island. There are a couple in designated spots. You also get the sense of fae, different fae creatures that are scattered all around the forest. And you do get the sense of 1 or 2 dragons as well.
Yeah.
Wait, what the fuck? And like choose on a bit even harder.
Yeah.
Like, no, yeah, that's definitely dragon.
Yeah.
This is degrading.
Yeah, I will say as well, just out of story beat wise, Gregory, roll me a Constitution saving throw because you are wearing the heaviest armor right
it's
now.
very
and
warm.
It is fucking
I was
hot.
going to say the same thing. I've got a cape on and everything. It's an 11.
Okay, so it's not to the point where it's sort of like, you know, crippling you, but like it's very uncomfortable.
Hey, would you like me to take your cape in my pocket? It's like a, extra dimensional space.
Okay.
It'll be safe.
Fine.
I can take your big old cloak. I can take all of your coats, actually, if you want to fold them up nice and tight.
Well, I didn't particularly have that much time to pack. Did I, Fiddle? I left my favourite coat.
No, I'm sorry. You left your coat. Oh, dear.
You're now hearing that coming even louder now.
What the
Go
hell
and
is
find
that?
out. What are we going to do? Hide in the bushes? I'd take my cape off and I'd drop it onto Fiddle.
I bundle it up and put it in my pocket.
I pull out Black Razor. It's like, well, it's far too hot. I'm very annoyed. So if there's something over there, let's just go and kill it. Agreed?
No.
Well, listen, I'm done waiting, all right? I'm going to go and cut my way through this bush and find... Which way's north, Fiddle? Point me north.
It's that way.
Okay. I go in the direction that Fiddle was pointing.
Okay. So Gregory starts wading his way through, using Black Razor to kind of cut through all the low hanging branches and the bushes. What are the rest of you doing?
I would like to hold Gregory's armor, his chest plate, and use prestidigitation. I can chill, warm, or flavor up to 1 cubic foot of non-living material for 1 hour. So I'd like to cool down his breastplate, and then I'd probably do the same thing to his helmet. Just like make it chilled, you know.
Yeah, so I like that. So Gregory, you start wading your way through, and you see Fiddle come up and place a hand on your back, and then he prestidigitates a chill flow that comes straight through, and almost like Mr. Freeze with his suit, you just get this like cool breeze that pops out of all the holes, and it's nice. It's really relieving, and it's a constant.
Well, thank you, Fiddle. It's very refreshing.
Nice, amazing. That lasts for an hour, by the way. I don't know whether I can do the same. I can have up to 3 non-instantaneous effects active at the same time. So maybe I'll do like his helmet. Maybe like...
I'm not currently wearing a
I
helmet.
don't know. Oh, you're not wearing a helmet?
Yeah,
Fair.
I have a
Well,
helmet,
just-
but I'm not wearing it.
Yeah, it's
Fair,
like
fair. Well, just your
it's
breastplate
like
then.
described as wearing a helmet, but I think flavor wise, you just make it look how you want.
Yeah, that's fair. Well, his breastplate and, the other 2, I'll do their jumper or whatever they're wearing.
Jumper.
I don't know, their shirt. I have no idea, just a section
they're
on their
wearing
chest.
armor. I think they're both leathers
Nice.
though.
Nice. Well, maybe the back plate of everyone's clothes, because that would be quite nice. A chilled back.
Well, you can do it on 2 other people, right? It's like 3 objects.
Yeah, I think I can do three of the effects at one time, and all 3 last for an hour.
Yeah, so are you going without them?
Yeah, I'm little, and I'm just wearing clothes. I don't wear any armor, so I can imagine I'm quite vented.
Fair enough. Yeah, you're fine. It's just
Maybe
like
I take my
probably-
shirt off and put it in the coat of my jacket as well, so I'm just wearing my jacket and like trousers.
While you're like debating this, you're hearing that coming even louder now.
Somebody else want to, I don't know, roll a perception check or something to see if
yeah.
they know what this is.
Yeah, okay. So, yeah, I would like to do that.
Okay, roll me a perception check.
23.
23. Okay. Yeah. So listening in, and again, there's a lot of different animal noises that are all like kind of carrying across, but trying to focus in on the horn specifically. Yeah, it is what sounds like a man-made horn that seems to be alerting people to being like, right, we're running towards a location, we're blowing the horn. You know, this is where we are in case we run into trouble and people need to find where we are. They're sort of blowing it, which you've heard from your ranger tactics in the war. Like, this is a common practice for forest terrain.
Doesn't mean they're coming for us, though.
Interesting.
It seems to be getting louder, so it does seem that like they're heading this direction. But
Okay,
not
yeah,
sure.
it doesn't mean they're looking for us. Okay, I think we can get away with hiding.
Okay, sounds good. I'm going to climb up onto Gregory's back and send FM up to up just to fly up around, see what he can see. Got on a bit of a scouting mission. I'm going to look through his eyes and see if
Okay.
he flies around.
Okay, so jeep jeep. So it flies up out of the canopy. As it does, and you go through his eyes, roll me a perception check to see if you can find some sort of place to hide out.
That's a 9. He flies very quickly away. I go, fuck! I didn't get a good look at the surrounding area. He's quite high up now. JC, you might have to find us.
Okay, can I have a look? Because I might get advantage for that, maybe?
Yeah, you definitely will do. And I'll say it's survival as well to kind of try and find your way.
Okay.
What is your survival now, JC?
Plus 13.
Plus 13.
Fiddle, what's FM's AC?
Oh dear. You don't need to know something like that.
Dirty 20 for me.
His AC is 12.
Okay. Okay, it takes 9 points of slashing damage.
Nice. Okay, I've got to have a quick look to see. Yes, level 14 now. That's very nice. Every creature that I summon now comes with 30 temporary hit points.
Okay, so you start hearing as JC, you go out to look with your dirty 20. You hear this as you hear FM is getting into a scrap up above, but you can't see him because the canopy's so close and stuff. You can't see where he is.
How
You're
much?
just hearing these screeches.
9 points of damage.
9 points of damage.
So what can I see through my eyes? Through his eyes? going
Through
on?
his eyes, you're seeing a giant eagle clawing at FM at the moment.
Fuck. Get out of there, buddy.
Okay. Yeah, I'll say you can get out. Just gonna take another swipe. Yeah, that's gonna be the same.
Yeah,
21 to hit.
he's gonna take the disengage, or maybe we'll just take the dodge action and fly away, fly back down to the ground.
I'll say that the giant eagle seems to be chasing FM, so you can just have him fly away or fly back towards you. It's up to you.
Yeah, just straight down to the canopy, get below the canopy, but taking the dodge action the whole time.
Okay, so that's going on. JC with a 20. What?
Oh, it should be
location-
23 actually, because my proficiency's doubled.
Yes. Okay. So 23.
Explorer.
You're trying to find a spot. What would be your ideal location for this situation? Where would you be trying to find?
I'm probably looking for some tree roots that aren't in the ground. So, we're underneath those sort of thing, in some shrubs probably. I'm probably looking near trees. Maybe I can find a big old badger burrow or just some tree roots and shrubs.
Bit like out of Lord of the Rings, where they get off the road path and go underneath that little bit. Because I was gonna say as well, because all the flooring that isn't covered in foliage, as all these branches kind of reaching out and grasping at you, so you're kind of having to almost like walking through a swamp a little bit. You're trying to have to pull your feet out to put them back down again, as they're kind of reaching out and grabbing.
Oh
you.
yeah, even water would do. We could go neck deep and hide amongst reeds or something.
Yeah.
Anything. It's more, yeah.
I'd say you managed to find, I could say you can find this one tree that is a large arcing, it looks like a yew tree, so Y-E-W, and it reaches high above the canopy up above, and it is humongous, and it seems to spread all the way along the ground, and there seems to be, because of its large shape, there are nice little slots where the root
Yeah.
just above the ground you can kind of hide in and create this sort of, it's almost like a tunnel system of roots.
Yeah, rocking. Okay, perfect. I would like to shove everybody in there without taking any shit.
Nice, yeah, sure thing. Just my monkey's being attacked.
But he comes back, right? He doesn't really die.
Yeah.
All right, let's go.
Costs 10
No
gold
shit.
pieces.
Let's go.
FM, come back.
Move out.
Oh no, don't come back to me. Where is he? Is he still just?
Yeah, don't lead them here.
Yeah, good point. He's just come below the canopy. He'll be fine. He's a monkey. This is the jungle.
You're still hearing the screeches of FM just like screaming out in pain.
Is he still being attacked?
Well, he's still trying to get attacked, yeah.
Okay, but he still hasn't been hit yet.
Okay, so you all head in. JC, you climb in underneath, and are you just sort of hiding out there?
Yeah, just for the second. Maybe, is there enough room for us to be out of the way of the door? Because I'd go as far as, hiding in plain sight, and then I will stand in front of the door.
I'd say it's very similar to, you can crawl to a point where you've got so much roots out your way that you can only see small gaps in, but someone who's actively searching might be able to see if you're moving about in there.
Okay, could we all shove into this little root structure? Have JC basically stand at the entrance, but maybe sit cross-legged at the entrance, and then I'm going to increase the edge of the tree so that the roots are covered up using minor illusion. Have the roots carry on as an illusion.
No, your spells aren't working. You ain't gonna do nothing.
Yeah, it's a cantrip though, so you never know.
Okay, sure. So you usher people in as far as they can get into the tree before the roots just kind of stop.
Yeah, so I go in last.
Good 3 feet in, 4 feet in, and then you sit by the entrance. And Fiddle, you rub your hands together. Minor illusion. Nothing happens.
Interesting. Oh dear.
And it's around this time you start hearing the kind of strides and the pads of 4-limbed creatures that seem to be kind of tearing their way through the forest. You can hear kind of in the near distance now as you're hearing these kind of growls as you're hearing quite a few of them come close now.
My prestidigitation is definitely working, yes?
Oh yeah, that wouldn't, would it?
Yeah, wouldn't it? I don't know. I don't know.
Slipped out straight away. No, it wouldn't.
Rubbish.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that.
Oh, wait a second, everyone. Are your armors actually colder, or do they just feel slightly colder because I told you I was making them colder?
Actually, now that you mention it, I'm quite warm.
Rubbish.
Yeah, that's my bad. Yeah, I slipped off of that, sorry. Yeah, that wouldn't work. Like I said, seems like dead magic. It's around about this time with all the low bushes and stuff, you can't see anything out except from a close 5-foot vicinity of open space, about 10 foot, where you start hearing... start hearing these kind of hunting creatures start sniffing about.
Look, they're just some kind of large jungle cat. We can take these things. What are we hiding under a stump for?
Just wait. There are dragons.
What?
There are dragons.
Well, how many?
Dragons.
Boys.
Wait, look. I'm very warm under here, and it's warm enough.
As you're laying there, so I assume you're all hiding, right? That's the intention. I need a stealth check from all of you.
Oh, 21.
Oh, I have disadvantage on the stealth checks, and I got 15 on both.
Did I get to hide in plain sight?
What's that mean?
You can spend 1 minute. I mentioned it, but I wasn't very forceful. It was about when I was on about standing at the door and using hide in plain sight. I can spend 1 minute creating camouflage for yourself from naturally occurring materials. Once camouflage, you can try and hide by pressing yourself up against a solid surface and gain a +10 stealth check.
Yeah, no, yeah, for sure. Yeah, sorry, I didn't catch that. Yeah, you definitely would have had enough time. You would have had enough time to do that. A bit like what's his face out of Hunger Games. 16. Okay, you hear this voice saying, "This is your last chance. Surrender to the Emerald Enclave, and we promise you will have your lives." As you hear this voice shout out from the foliage behind.
Can I try and sneak out?
You certainly can. It would
Guys,
be another...
Before we go out,
I'm pretty sure these guys really don't like mages, so I think I need to pretend that I've hired you all, because if we just go out there and say we're an adventuring party, they're going to ask what the fuck I can do, and I can't do shit. So I need to be like a rich guy who's hired you all, okay? Because you're all really fucking capable, and I'm not.
This is your last chance. Come out.
Okay. Let me
or we will
sneak out. Let me
smoke
sneak
you
out. Let me sneak out.
Okay, I'll say you won't get your +10 because the whole point of that is like you remain still. So
No.
you can
Yep.
out,
It does say that.
But I will give you.
FM come and distract them? Like fly in from behind.
FM's still currently being attacked, so you can.
Good. I thought you were about to say FM's dead.
No. I wouldn't do that. But yeah, you certainly can. But I will for John Claude. So I'll stay with you for a second.
Mm-hmm.
I will give you advantage because of like you've got all this different. Like I said, you've got all this dirt, this bark stuff. Like you definitely can blend in.
Cool. So
what
yeah.
are you doing?
So I want to try and
sneak out.
I want to sneak out, and then I'm going to delicately reveal myself slightly away from where you guys are, and then
Okay, but aren't they outside of? You're currently like.
They're
the
nearby.
door.
they're
They're
not.
nearby. Okay.
Yeah, they're
I'm
nearby.
picturing them.
No,
outside
there
looking at
were
our
there
door.
were some creatures sniffing at the door. The
Right.
guy who's speaking is nearby, so I
Okay,
want to try and
sounds
just sneak off, 10 meters, 20 meters away. Then I'll reveal myself. If you hear me screaming, then don't come out.
Or do?
Or do.
Who knows? Are you going to say you have friends in a tree nearby, or are you going to say you're alone?
Well, I'll see if they try and kill me.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Play by ear.
Yeah.
Play by ear.
You start seeing the smoke start coming through the bushes, the nearby bushes. You're not really sure what it is, but it smells like kind of bonfire-y. So whatever
Okay.
you're doing, you better do it soon.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going. Should I roll now?
Advantage stealth check, please. Like Metal Gear Solid.
God. Should I roll?
In a cardboard box.
Yeah.
Yes, 22.
22. Okay. So, you start crawling. And you're crawling. You find like a little opening you can go out. So not the same entrance, but a different one out underneath the tree. And you're starting to crawl as you see this like kind of fiery smoke start wafting through past the bushes and into the trees. And all of you that are still in the tree, you're sort of having to cover your mouths as it's starting to like blow up through your noses. As John Claude just sort of crawling army commando. And you get past the bush and you look to your left and you can see there's two what look like huge wolf-like creatures, all white pelts. They sort of resemble direwolves that you might have seen once or twice before. That seem to be sort of like lingering on the other side, as well as a couple of what look like nature-like druids, wearing forest furs, holding a staff. There seems to be about 3 of them, and you can hear a couple more located around the surroundings. You're not really sure where, though, as you sort of crawl past a little bit. They don't seem to notice you.
Yeah, I'll just fuck off and leave everyone behind. No.
Okay, so John Claude
Yeah,
goes
okay.
off and finishes the campaign by himself.
Yeah, I would like to go and find Elminster and go back to Salt Rock.
Yeah, I'd like to do my last checkpoint, please.
Okay, yeah, so I just sort of, I come up behind them then, and then,
Okay,
close enough to startle them, but my hands are above my head by the time they turn around.
sure. So, yeah, go ahead. How do you approach them? They're sort of like facing towards the tree now, behind some bushes, sort of crouched prone, waiting to sort of like, not really.
Okay, yeah, I would love to go and crouch behind them and put my hands up.
Okay.
Bonjour. I surrender.
You see this druid turns around.
Are you looking for me? I wasn't sure.
Holds a staff out and seems really confused. These two wolves, but either side of the druid sort of look around. They start going as he's like, "Throw down your weapon now. Your bow on the floor."
Okay, it wasn't in my hands. It was around my shoulder. Do you want me to take it off?
Yes, right down.
Yep. Okay. I take it off.
Okay, I'm doing this very slowly, officer. Just
Reaching for my foot. It's not in my.
It's not in my hands.
Yeah, he's got to
Just
go.
reaching for my license.
Okay, so you're throwing your bow down, yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so you throw your bow down, and you see the druid with the staff still holding it up at you, and he's like, "Is there anyone else with you?"
Yes.
Where are they?
Why are we in trouble?
Where are they? You are trespassing.
Why are we in... What? Okay, I'm sorry. Fine. They are just right here.
Okay.
Can we have some guarantees that we're not going to die? Like, at least straight away. We'll go to trial first, right?
If you throw down your weapons and come with us, we promise your safety.
Alrighty. I can't imagine anything going wrong there. The rest of my party are so cooperative. Alright guys, I think it's safe. They're really cool and chill, and I'm pretty sure we won't die.
Oh no, what have they done to JC's voice?
Can I just come out from
British
this?
him.
Come up.
Fate for a Frenchman.
Excuse me, one fish and chips, please.
Run! Everyone run! Can't imagine that horrid.
Jam on toast, anybody? Or perhaps some beans?
Okay.
No,
so,
don't run! I promise you, the cucumber's delicious.
So the three of you under the tree, you're hearing JC saying, "It's all good. You can come out. What are you doing?"
We have found ourselves trespassing. I think we should just be able to go away. I've said I'm sorry. I haven't yet. I am sorry, by the way. We'll continue to just. It's fine. No weapons, please.
One second. I think I've got to look at the things of my jacket. What does my jacket do? Each pouch can hold 20 pounds of material not exceeding a volume of 2 cubic feet. Oh no, this is for a haversack. Do you know what my jacket can hold?
I think it's a lot because you've got so many pockets in there as well. I don't think it actually specifies because it was a homebrew thing.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Gregory, quick, give me your sword and put it in my pocket.
Absolutely not.
But they're going to take it off you.
I don't care. They
And
can try.
I don't think the sword will be very happy.
Well, they can fuck that sky high.
Exactly. Just hand it to me, put it in my jacket pocket, and I'll give it back to you later.
Gregory,
I promise.
You're hearing the
I
back of your head.
No.
Listen to me, Gregory. This could be
Both of you can
anything.
shut up, all right? Both
Either
of
we go
you.
outside and we kill them, or we go along with them and maybe they can help. Please, look into my eyes.
No.
I can't do
Stop
magic
making-
at the moment.
I don't care. I'm going out of here right now.
They're going to try and take your sword off you.
I don't care. They can try.
You said your
Exactly.
friends would
Will you let
cooperate.
them?
Why are they not coming out of the tree?
Quick.
Just
Otherwise,
give
we're
us
going
a
to have to go
minute.
out there and kill them.
I didn't actually promise it.
Gregory, if you don't give me the sword, we're going to have to go out there and kill them. Is that what you want? That's the decision you'll be
Sort of. It's sort of. I'm hiding in a tree. I'm warm. I'm sweaty. I'm ready to kill someone.
I'm going to roll a persuasion check on Gregory.
I mean, you
Nice,
can.
I got a 7.
It's
I go,
ridiculous
fine, I
idea.
shove him and walk out the tree.
Okay, so Fiddle, and bear in mind, you can sort of like just walk, but you have to just arch your back a little bit, whereas everyone else has to kind of crawl into it. You'll sort of manage to get to a point where you can sort of
Nice.
almost walk your way out, and you come out and you see the druid sticks his head out over the bushes, and puts a
I've
staff
put my
over
dagger in my pocket, by the way. I put my dagger in my pocket.
Okay, and you see these two dire wolves kind of emerge through the tree line, and they're like,
Very scary. I don't care.
That's a good snarl.
I put my hands up.
Druid said, "Drop your weapon."
I don't have a weapon. I'm unarmed. I pull up my jacket and spin around so they can see my waistline. There's nothing attached to it.
Okay.
Everything that could be a weapon is in my pocket.
Okay, so you spin around, and so he looks at you, and you can see in your coat pockets where you've put your dagger, right? The blade's in there, but then it's sticking out. So like the handle and
What?
the
Then I
top
put
of
it on the inside pocket. I put it in a pocket that's not like.
So it's not in
Full.
there, like it's not in there, if that makes sense. Like the pocket's not big enough to fit in. It's like one of those tiny little ones. As it's sort of
Can
like
I
just
put it in
dangling.
one of the other pockets? This is my magic jacket.
Yeah, exactly. They're all not. It doesn't go into them.
Oh no!
So it's sort of like you spin around and it sort of dangles out and like falls out, and you have to kind of catch it quick and.
I go, oh, this knife. this knife, and I go and I look at my other pocket, and it's like overflowing with coats as well. And I go, oh, you best all take your coats back too if my jacket's not working.
Okay, so are you throwing it down on the ground in front of you?
This is a very special knife. Will I get it back?
You will get it back if you cooperate.
Perfect. Here you go. That does sound pretty fair.
Okay, so you chuck your dagger down, kind of crawl out, and Gregory, by this point you are wet through.
Furious.
Sweaty, and you get out, and
Just
yeah,
clean
and,
this.
You see the druid. He's like looking at you, holding the staff up. He's like,
Oh, yes,
"Put down your
I'm aware
weapons."
of the drill. Drop your weapons, blah, blah, blah. Listen, I don't know who you are, and I don't particularly care who you are either. So if you could
We're
just
the
kind
Emerald
of...
Enclave.
Oh, wow, big deal. Just let us go.
Protect nature.
Wow,
No.
we're clearly not any harm to
How
nature.
did-
We don't know how we got here, all right? So can you just let us go without all the pomp? I don't care. We're trying to go somewhere completely different. We're trying to leave, maybe in the next 5 minutes. You'll probably never see us again. So if you could call off your wolves and call off your friends and stop telling me to drop my weapon, and we'll go.
You see the two walls that are like standing either side. They shift into two druids as one of them steps forward, a bit older than the rest. A elven male with long grey hair that's pulled back into a single braid that falls way down to his ankles. Got a long beard that's braided as well, and he's like, "You are trespassing on our island.
Yes,
There
we're
is
well
only one
aware.
way in and out. We mark everyone that comes in here. We do not account for any of you. We do not know how you're here. We need to find out. So you will throw down your weapons and
You
come
mark us?
with us. No,
All of
not
us is-
physically.
I was about to say, mark us like a dog marks
No.
a tree. I might want to pick my dagger
Listen,
back.
Are you throwing down your weapons, or are we going to have to solve this the old-fashioned way?
I'm fairly
He's
sure
like
you can
looking
just
around.
kind of let us walk away.
Where are you going to go? It's an island.
Well, swim? No, you've got a boat.
Gregory, I think we are kind of...
I think we've got a boat, but, I'm cooperating. I'm
No,
following you.
the boat is in one of the jackets or
No,
bags of
doesn't
holding or
work.
something that is now just
Then
our bag.
fine, Then we will raft if you'll let us...
You will
let us
you will
use
harm
your
one of our
weapons,
sacred
your
trees to make
foliage.
yourself a raft. You all
No.
civilized people are all
no,
the
we
same.
use driftwood.
No.
Driftwood. Only
Okay.
driftwood.
Destroy in
No,
nature
not
for your
make
own
a raft then.
gains.
But-
Typical. Throw down your weapons, please.
Oh, God.
Do you have a boat? Swim. How do we get out?
Are they
This is
naked?
gross. Disgusting.
I'm confused.
They're now like looking at you, and like a mate, he's sort of like slammed his staff down. He's like, "Weapons now!" And he's looking at Gregory and Sole.
I was like, what are you going to do about it?
Gregory, I think
You-
we're fucked.
Oh, really? What gave that away, Phil? Was it the fact that we could have just gone to bed and been somewhere else?
Gregory, I'm sorry about that.
Oh, yes, I'm sure you are. All right. What are you going to do with the weapons?
Going to give them back to you if
We'll
you are
get
not
them
a threat
back.
to us.
Assuming we behave, yeah. So, we do their thing. They'll check that there's no, security holes in their, island security, and then double check we're not spies. We know the drill, and then we'll be on our merry way, and they definitely won't solicit us in any way.
I swear if we pick
Yeah,
up
but then-
another
then we'll get emails
random
from them
quest
forever.
from these strange bearded freaks.
please.
Check here if you would like to hear about future quests. No.
Another
Oh, we do have a notice board actually.
Fine.
With a farm that's just been burnt down. Throw down your weapon. God's sake, stop distracting me.
I'm merely going to sheathe my blade.
No, you're going to.
Put it back in the
Throw it
shit.
down. You hear in the back of your head, Gregory. Free to me. They look delicious.
You can shut up as well. Fine. Throw the sword
Okay.
down.
As you throw it down and it clatters down to the rest. And they look at all of you and they're like, "All right." You see two of the other druids that came out behind look a bit younger. Seems like a bit of like a family or hierarchy here. Start collecting the weapons and throwing them into like bags on their back and stuff. And they look at all four of you and then they give you some like woven hempen rope. And they give it hand over to you and it's like, can you all tie yourselves up to each other, please?
Oh, this is ridiculous.
Why?
Oh, yeah, let's just throw down our weapons, everyone. It's not like we're fierce warriors or anything, is it? Oh, yes, we're the first person that tells us to drop our weapons. We'll just do it. Yeah, we'll just do it.
I mean, that's not true. Everyone tells us to drop our weapons all the time, and we rarely do it.
Okay, so the third person that comes up to us and tells us to drop our weapon, we just do it.
Yeah, I'm still hoping it's going to work out.
They're asking us to tie ourselves up.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
No, you don't, because you're about to do it.
I think I sort of look at Gregory, I give him a nod, and I look back at the other guy. I go, yeah, we'll walk, and I throw the rope back down to where we throw in the weapons. Can we all roll a intimidation check? As we all just sort of
You
stand
can
there
roll a
looking at them.
persuasion check. Then
Like we'll walk.
They're not
ourselves.
intimidated by you, which bear in mind they don't look super powerful. So I don't know whether that kind of gives an inclination to like maybe they think they can still take you even if they are a little bit lower than yourselves. But you can roll a persuasion check to sort of see if they trust you enough to not run away.
Nice. Okay, that's a 20.
Okay.
If I don't get advantage from
So-
anyone else.
The older druid, he looks down. And he's like, looks up at you four. He's like, don't try anything.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure we won't.
And they pick up the rope and they're like, right, follow us and stay close. You can get lost in this jungle. As you start following them and you notice, I mentioned all those vines that are coming out from the floor. When they step, they almost seem to form into like a bed. Whereas with you, you're like stepping into them and they're like pulling on you. And you're sort of having to like waddle behind and they start leading you down like a path with all these tiki wooden torches stands that seem to lead at either side of a path. And before long, you guys are like getting left behind as they're walking way faster than you. And you see the old druid look behind. He's like, right, sorry about that. And he just simply waves his hand. And you see the vines break off.
As I'm struggling to walk, like almost losing my balance, I go, oh yes, this would have been amazing with us all tied up, wouldn't it? Absolutely fantastic.
This is your first time taking prisoners, is it?
You see the older druid look over to the rest and start walking. You see the two younger ones that picked up all the weapons look at each other and they start speaking. They're like, and you see the other one.
Oh, yes, great. A foreign language.
Looks over. He's like, and you see the other ones like, and they start like walking off again. Out of curiosity, does anyone speak Druidic?
No.
Oh.
I think you might have to be a druid to speak druidic.
Yeah, unless
Isn't it one of those? Isn't it like thieves' cant, where it's like almost impossible rules as written to?
So rules as written, it takes about a year to learn if you specify for your character. So anyone can learn it because it's like a language, right? Like anyone can actually learn to converse in a language. It's just it takes a long while, and especially with Druidic, it's a bit more secret. Same with thieves can't. Yeah, they converse each other, laugh, and then carry on some more. As now the vines aren't impairing you anymore, and you're kind of walking on them. And as you walk past, you see these couple of like tree ants. You see the older druid walk over to him. He's like, and they sort of like look over at you four, and then they go back once more. Like, seems to be waddling over towards your location as well. As
Oh, now we have to speak to trees.
I spoke to a tree once
Oh, did you,
a
Fiddle?
while ago.
That's nice.
Yeah, it was when you were dead. You had died, and we were going to find your monastery in the in the Border Kingdoms.
Yes, that's the one.
In your forest where your monastery is, there's tree ants there.
There's a few, yes.
You didn't know. Yeah. I made friends with one. I answered his riddles, and he took us to your monastery.
Or was that Jeff?
Maybe. Didn't get his name.
You didn't ask.
Kind of rude of me, actually.
That is pretty rude.
I asked him some questions, but he didn't want to know. He wanted me to answer his riddles.
Were there three of them?
Maybe. There was only one that I remember. Maybe. It was something about, like, what has mountains but no valleys, and towns but no people, and oceans but no water or something. It was a map was the answer.
There was a map, yes. Yeah. That's definitely Jeff. That's his favourite one, that is.
That'll be him then.
Yeah.
That'll be him.
Anyway, this is no Jeff.
So you continue down this trail, and it takes you roughly about 30 minutes to walk down this path, and it's just forest everywhere, and it's so thick. The humidity's there. You're hearing all these, little flies flying past you, latching onto you somewhere. You're having to flick them away. Some of the druids catch that, and they sort of like look at you in disgust as you wade your way through. And if you give me a second. So, you find yourself walking over a bridge, over a river. It seems to run from one side of the island to the other. And the water seems to be crystal blue. It seems unimaginably beautiful as you walk over this woven wooden elven-like bridge with all these vines and leaves that stick out that work as railings. Walk over it into a different forest, this one called the Great Forest, and you see there's loads of little water springs everywhere. Here you see a strange little blue creature flying by with, it's almost serpentine in shape, that kind of, and lands onto a branch and kind of like watches you as you pass, which you see it's like a miniature dragon, and you sense this kind of what John Claude picked up.
I think I look at it for a second, watch it fluttering through the breeze, and look at it, sort of tilt my head slightly and go, that's really pretty. Look at it for a second longer and go, oh, FM! Can I look through his eyes?
Okay, so you look through FM's eyes. Is there any distance to how you can do that?
No, so I can only control him for whatever it is, 100 meters or something, but let's have a quick look. It might be a bit like self-sabotaging here, Ollie, but that is if the spell works. That's it. That's if my magic is working. But
With FM, I'm sort of like playing it because obviously I let it last session. FM with your tether to him, it's sort of like an innate ability sort of thing, so you can.
It's his ability
Yeah.
now. Yeah, that's fair. So, yeah, the wording of it is, while your familiar is within 100 feet of you, you can communicate with it telepathically. It then says, full stop. Additionally, as an action, you can see through the familiar's eyes and hear what it hears until the start of your next turn. I think Critical Role and Jeremy Crawford have said, yeah, they are two separate things. I can communicate with him telepathically within 100 feet. Once he goes beyond that, I can't speak to him anymore, but I can still look through his eyes and hear what he hears. Yeah, but if I want to give him, like, orders, I need to do it within 100 feet. So I need to tell him, like, go out a few miles and then come back.
Sure.
If he starts getting attacked halfway through, I can't, like, do anything with him.
No,
But I think I can... I think I can make him... Like, the action I use... yeah, as an action, you can temporarily dismiss the familiar into a pocket dimension. So I can do that. I can get rid of him at any distance, and then I can bring him back within 30 feet of me. So that is sort of what I'm trying to pay attention to. If he does get hit a couple more times and he looks like he's going to go out, then I might try and put him into a pocket dimension and pull him back out. At least attempt that to see whether it would work.
Okay, yeah, I see.
That might be pushing the boundaries of what this spell can currently do, seeing as it's kicking
Yeah,
on. with life.
I would say roll me a d20. That's going to determine which way we go. 10 and above, we go for it. Below 10, I'll say that it isn't working.
Yeah, it's limited then. Yeah. Okay, that's a nat one. Sums
Okay,
it up.
So you can still see through his eyes, but he seems to be off on his own little adventure at the moment. You can see he's currently found some high tree on a hill where he's sort of looking out everywhere, but seems completely lost. He's looking around in all the wrong directions.
He's probably lost us. Fuck.
Not really sure where to go. And this forest as well, is very confusing if don't have a guide to show you where to go, unless you're a master skeleton like John Claude. Yeah, you definitely can get lost in here, which FM seems to be lost.
Dear, poor old FM.
As
FM stands for Flying Monkey, by the way, in case we haven't told the audience that. He is a flying monkey.
I don't even think any of you guys probably know that.
Yeah, people know that. Josh definitely knows that. I'm sure Bobby does. What do they think? That I just pop out a little person? Flying.
Okay, John Claude. As you're sort of walking with this group, sort of leading the way as you were the first to kind of approach them, you see this dragon approach onto a branch, and you see past the dragon is this image of this small little cave, just past this little spring with a mini little waterfall flowing down. You see past this waterfall is this cave, and inside the cave is this glistening treasure chest that is encased in gold. It's incandescent, and you're just seeing it just sitting there, waiting to be grabbed.
I see.
Yeah.
Kind of test. To see if we're greedy.
I'm not doing it.
And then you see all of...
I don't even bat an eyelid.
Okay, so you go by, and the next person following you, which the next person to come out of the tree was Fiddle. So Fiddle, you now see it.
I see. Can I roll an Arcana check looking at it? See what it looks like. See if I can glean any more information. Nice. It's a 19.
19. Seems to have an essence of magic about it, just because it looks so... There's so much splendor about it. The waterfall, the shine of it, the chest, how it glows through the waterfall itself, how you can actually see the chest through the waterfall as well.
I say, can I ask a question?
No, we keep going.
Dear captor? Please.
No.
What's up with that treasure chest?
He looks over, he's like, what treasure chest?
That treasure chest behind that waterfall.
Looks over, he's like, what waterfall?
Inside check. Is he fucking with me?
Roll an insight check.
Nice, that's an 8.
Who knows?
Like, are you fucking with me? There's a treasure chest over there. Inside a waterfall.
Come on, we have to keep moving. And he starts like walking again. You see the druids are kind of like pushing you forward a little bit, just to nudge you on.
Fine.
Okay.
Fine.
So, Gregory, you see the same thing.
Just gonna walk past.
Not making it up, right? You guys can see it, right?
What, this chest?
Yeah.
It's an obvious ploy, Fiddle. We're walking past it.
Okay, that's fair.
You lead your way through this other forest on this island. Which takes you another about 30 minutes before coming out onto the other side. You see, along the coast is a settlement located on the edge of the island, which is the city-state of Sapra. Wooden palisade walls surround the settlement with houses all clustered within. All these houses are wooden structures with moss-covered roofs. It isn't overly impressive, the city itself, and to look at, it's barely even big enough to be a town. The most notable thing about the settlement is what sits next to it on the coast. You see, lining all the way from horizon to horizon is a reef line. Doesn't seem overly big, but it seems to run a perimeter around the island, acting as a natural fortification for it. The only way in and out of the city is by sea through a gap in the reef that sits adjacent to the settlement itself. So the settlement is the first thing most sailors see when they come to the island. As you kind of squint on this kind of hill you're in, overlooking the settlement and then the reef beyond, you can see that there's 6 figures on the reef itself, 3 on each side, and they seem to be wiggling and waving, like almost like a mirage effect as you sort of clear your vision a little bit. And you can see they're water elementals that are standing guard. As you carry on down this kind of hill, leaving the forest behind you and into the settlement. The druids take you into the city, and you walk through and you can see it's made up of different families, women, children, elderly men. All seem to be people that seek refuge away from civilized life and for a quieter one. They've all come here, set up their trades, and set up like a functioning little society where they work for each other. You work your way through all the different houses, and they take you past the big town hall that sits in the centre that looks more like a Viking longhouse than any other structure, and into this large bamboo building where it seems to act as a sort of jail for people, where you see there's a druid standing guard and they speak in the same tongue, that and he opens the door and you see the druids all stand aside and they're like, if you please go in here and await for us to come get you so we can ascertain that you are not a threat to our society.
I mean, yeah, we've come this far, haven't we? Fine. Fine, whatever.
Okay. So you all head in, they lock it behind, and you see 2 druids stand guard as the others go up into the town hall, where you are now essentially in confinement. Inside here, it's not very grand, it's quite dire, really. You know, you can see there are like some bits of dried blood stains that try to be like wiped over, and there's some like, you know, some smeared poo stains on the wall, as well as like a piss bucket in the corner. It's not great.
It's lovely, isn't it?
But, you know, could be worse as well.
This is horrific.
You see,
yes, so it could be worse, though, couldn't it? We could be over a
I've
pit
been in
of
jails
lava.
before, but I've never been anywhere that has shit on the walls.
Yeah.
Well, yes,
You're
I
all
described
about
this
the
as...
environment and shit, but yet for some reason all of your roommates performing dirty protests. Why is that?
Yes, I think the exact words to describe this is not the worst.
Yeah, too right.
are you saying that to the the druid on the right of the gate looks over at you. He's like, I would have you know that shit makes up great builder for houses. My house itself is made up of shit as well as dirt.
I don't doubt
Right,
it.
so there isn't shit smeared on the walls then, God. The walls are made of shit.
No, like there
We're in
is.
a
We're in a
shit
mud
hub right
prison.
No.
A mud prison.
There is.
This is rubbish.
There is. Well, you don't, Josh. You don't physically have to go through it, all right? So it's not like I'm putting you through this.
Sorry.
I don't know why I can't believe you're putting my character through this. This is fucking disgusting.
There isn't shit on the walls. It's worse than that.
Their walls are made of shit. Wait, so what? They've got iron barred doors, but yet
No,
their houses
no.
are made out of shit.
No,
Shit is the walls.
it's all bamboo. It's like a bamboo gel house. You know, like what the Japanese used to make their houses out of, like World War II, where they keep American.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
shit.
yeah.
yeah, human shit.
Very
yeah.
famously.
Yeah, very famously.
I,
Sorry, Ali, we're being mean now.
That's all right. Everyone will know that you guys are bullies. You won't let me torment
Yeah,
you.
he's gonna blame
And
us
you're
in this
complaining
suicide
about
note.
it. How dare you censor me? This is a
Stop
joke.
world building, God.
Yeah, I think I turn to the guard and go, honestly, I've been in some prison cells before, like, I've never seen one covered in shit like this. Like, this is a pretty horrific prison, I'm not gonna lie.
He looks over at you and he's like, well, we do clean it up pretty regularly, but if you want to blame anyone, blame that person there. And he points behind you to a human male who's just sat in the corner of the jailhouse with you. There's only one other person in it, and he's just sat there, just sort of like on the walls at the moment, just already drawing another shape on there. And he's like,
What is this?
Well, if you can't beat them, join them.
Yeah, can I look at the guy and go, hey, what's your name? You seem like
Ezekiel.
You seem like an interesting guy.
Fuck you, Ezekiel.
you better not bring my mother into this.
Fuck's sake.
What's your name?
You see the mate, he's just drawing crap, and he's literally, so there's some like robes, like black robes that have just been thrown onto the other corner of the floor, and he's just in a loincloth at the moment, and he just sort of stops drawing for a second, looks over at you, and it's almost sinister looking. It's just like a bit half lit, and he's just like and he goes back to like drawing some more.
Well, that's unsettling, isn't it? Sorry, the door's made out of bamboo.
Bamboo, yes.
Bamboo can be pretty strong.
Yes, but I'm also pretty strong.
I'm Gregory
Yeah,
White.
exactly. Okay, I'm just kind of break through the door. See, this is a situation in which very much I could break through the door.
Anyway, what are we doing here? What do you want to check? I really hope you aren't asking us to get in this cell with this man, because I think this might.
We're obviously above this.
Yes, you've been teetering on the edge of a conflict with us since you picked us up. We've been very
Yeah.
respectful to you. This might be the end of the road if you ask us to get in that cell.
I was like, I'm
Well,
absolutely not.
So you all said that you went into the jailhouse, right?
Yeah.
The house itself isn't. It isn't individual cells. It's just one large kind of like room, and it's just got like sort of one long bench on either side. So it's just one long kind of holding building. That's all it is. It's not individual cells.
So this is just one big room.
It's just one big room. You're at one side of it. The matey join.
Okay, I think we're all stood at the door then.
Yeah. Okay. Fine.
I'm not sure we would have gone in.
It's like, we're not going in.
We turn around, just turn around all in unison and look back at the guard. Just go, no.
We're not doing that.
Here and no further.
They said, they're like, listen, if you give us an hour or two, and then we will let you back out. We promise. You know, we've
I
been.
won't give you a minute. I won't give you a minute.
Look, he's
You've
He's
walked us
harmless.
for-
Coffee shop.
You've walked us for like 2 hours through the woods. I've been bitten to death by mosquitoes. I'm not going in this
You know what?
den with
You know
this
what?
man drawing on the wall with feces.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry to have to do this, but can we please speak to your supervisor?
They're like looking at you now. And
I'd like to speak to your manager.
they're like, look.
Do
Yeah.
they still have the weapons in the bag near us?
So two of the druids have like walked off with the bags, and it's just like the people that were standing guard now. Like the people have like left and gone to the town hall to speak to an elder, and they're like, listen. Arixa back there, Arixa, and you see the matey at the back like, and they're like, you're not going to harm these poor fellows, are you? You're harmless, and he's just like, and just goes back to drawing, and they're like, see, he's harmless.
It doesn't matter.
So,
Doesn't matter.
May I ask you a question?
Yes, you may.
Honestly, okay.
Yes.
So let's say that you are asked to wait for your friend for an hour. And you were told by said friend, I'll be back in a minute, just wait in this pile of shit. Would you do it?
Yes. So-
Druids. So what you're saying is, if you could just take a quick step inside of there for me, just both of you, just a quick step inside, just to check it out.
They
You know,
both
just
start.
see
They
what
both
condition.
hold their staffs up to you now, Gregory, and they're like, "Are you getting in, or are we going to have to do this the hard way?"
Oh, what are you going to do? Really?
I go inside.
No,
No, absolutely, we're not going inside.
It only works if we all take a stand.
We've got no weapons. Let's just go through with it.
Stronger together. There's more of us than these two.
Yeah, but there's more of them.
You don't have any spells. Not that you would anyway, because
you're
you're just
seeing
a normal man.
you're seeing all the
who doesn't
people
have spells.
that live in this settlement. You see like a mother and a child like stand by, and they're like watching this because they're like, oh, new people, and they're all like staring at you now, and you're getting like a bit of a circle kind of forming around. They're all like staring.
Excuse me, kind
Excuse me,
citizens.
kind friends and companions. Is there a nice coffee house we could sit in for the next hour or so? Because this shithole isn't doing it for any of us.
You see one of the druids like looking over you. He's like, don't talk to our people, and don't call our house our home a shithole.
I'm sorry, your
The
people.
guy's painting with poo. What do you want from me?
We don't
want
want him to do. We don't want him to do that. He just does it.
Then why are you putting us in there? We've done nothing wrong.
He's been
appreciate
doing
that.
it for the last 3 days. We can't stop him.
But what are we being arrested for? What are the charges?
Well, you'll find out.
Poo painting.
Yes, please. I understand. As I said earlier, we have been treating you with respect, as you have been treating us. We merely want to keep that level of respect between us.
This isn't very...
It isn't very respectful making us wait in here.
No, but again, you haven't really said what you're doing here. So we
We're
don't
just
know who
kind
you
of
are.
here.
You haven't asked us. You haven't asked
As-
us what our plan is to do here, and we did tell you. Our plan is to leave as soon as possible, as soon as humanly
Could have
possible.
been gone by now.
Yes, exactly. But no, you just said,
And as we know-
arrest us. We'll take their weapons and we'll tie them up and then we'll throw them in a cage. Yes.
As you
But
see,
look, none of this matters. None of this matters because you're not the people that we need to be speaking to, are you? You're not the people who will decide to let us go. So we will happily wait for the cogs of your bureaucracy to move, but we will not wait in here. We will wait outside. We will wait here with you, right outside. If we could just close the door, please.
as you
It's
see,
choking.
as you start saying that, you start seeing the 2 druid guards converse each other. That and they're quite aggressive with it. And then you see one of them who looks a bit younger starts shifting into a bear shape, getting really angry. And then the other one like calms him down quickly. He's like, as they're doing that, John Claude, as you've walked in there, you hear this whisper next to your ear going, I wouldn't go in there if I were you. As you hear the mate you, Erixa, has come up to your ear and starts like whispering in your ear. He's like,
He tells me not to go inside.
Who said he went inside? I thought we stopped him.
and he's like looking at all of you.
JC, get out of there.
Hey, his paint palette's empty. I'm just going to take a dump.
It's like, he
all right, I'm coming.
he like grabs you by the wrist, John Claude, and he like pulls you in. He's like, Cindermoon sees all. She won't let you go easy. No, not if you cast spells.
Get off of him.
Little spellsy, they're bad. They're really bad. You staying here with me?
Get off of
Yes.
him.
You stay.
Why are you here?
Why are we anywhere?
Oh, stop talking to
This
us.
man needs professional help.
What are you doing to this? I thought druids were all about peace. This man's clearly unwell.
You see the guards are like, the other one that isn't as aggressive. He's like, right, Erixa, get in the back now, or we're gonna have to burn you again. And he's like,
What do you mean again?
See, you Trixie.
it. What the fuck?
Look, remember when I said...
not going in there.
Remember when I said...
Not getting in your cage.
Remember when we came out of the log and I refused to give my weapons up? Sort of sounds like a better idea now, doesn't it?
I mean, we won't burn you again.
You see,
I can't believe what I'm hearing.
you see Erixa like goes to the back and he's like, he's like, she'll make you answer for the tear in the sky. She will. 3 days ago, 3 days, and he starts crawling back. He's like 3 days, 3 days, and he goes back to drawing on the wall.
The tear in the goddamn sky. The main thing, the end of the world. That's what we are doing. We are trying to stop the end of the world. We are the only 4 people who can do this, and you're currently delaying us.
And John Claude,
Please.
you're free to go back out
Can
again as the elderly druid comes back down, and he's like, why are they not in the jailhouse? Why are they outside? And you see the other 2 are like flabbergasted.
Absolutely
They're like-
not going in there.
They're like,
Yeah, we refuse. I'm sorry, sir. We refuse.
And you see, with the elderly druids is this human male gentleman, very burly, sort of nicely kept goatee and brown hair, but very tattered and worn jerkin. And he's like, right, hello, Are they dangerous? And you see the elderly druid. He's like, not so far. I'm still on the fence though. And you see the human male looks over you. He's like, okay, well, hello, my name is Mayor Thomas Flagcairn. I am the
Hello, Mayor.
part-time mayor.
Finally, somebody. And it's very nice to meet you, Mayor. My name is Jossi Vodrick Fiddlesong Goldflight, and we are the Nine Hells Mercenary Company. We accidentally overshot our teleport trying to get to Cedarsbrook to try and stop this tear in the world that's opened up above Salt Rock. We overshot our teleport and ended up here on your island. Very sorry about that. We would very much like to leave as soon as possible. If that is possible. I hope that your goals align with ours.
That seems quite troubling. We've had a couple of them. I remember a couple of years ago, actually, there was a mage trying to go to the Gulfamere Forest and ended up here. Seems like a thing.
Well, yes.
I'm afraid I would like to let you head off, but the only way out is...
Oh, you would? That's fantastic news.
Why do you sound aggressive?
Let him finish, Gregory. Let him finish.
I have... basically, no one can leave here. It's a that uses magic. It's like a magical thing this island has, except from if you're divine, innate, or more of the land. You have to speak to one of the 6 elders of the druids here. Only she can give you permission to leave. Her name is Cindermoon. She's in the town hall waiting for you if you're all ready to follow me.
Of course.
Better than waiting in a fucking room of shit, isn't it?
To go and ask for permission to leave. Sounds like a lovely society they've got here. Anyway, come on then.
Okay, so you all head up towards the town hall. And again, you pass what looks like, a local smithery, a blacksmith, like a young strapping fellow who's like, hammering a sword there. And you see Thomas goes over to him. He's like, how you doing, son? Yeah, it's looking good, that is, but you need to work on your aim as you're chipping the ends of the blade a little bit. And kind of pats him on the back and starts walking. You pass an inn, which again seems all family run, and people coming in and out. Everyone seems quite bliss here. Seems quite peaceful. And he says, I'm sorry about the treatment that you all seem to have had. You all seem a bit disgruntled. We're quite secluded, we are, and I think we forget how to speak to most people some days. You must forgive my fellow village.
It's okay. It's understandable. It's understandable. This does seem like a very nice place you've got here. It's a nice town.
Yes.
People seem to be really at ease.
It's for people who don't want to live in society, find it too hard or grueling, or with vicious overlords who seem to oppress their people rather than help them. They need to get away from that, and we offer that here with the druids. That we are very fortunate to have them. They might seem a bit strict, but they open their doors up only to the most pure-hearted of us, to keep this place as blissful as it is.
Does sound nice. Society has been slowly going downhill over the years, and what with the issues to the weave, things are definitely taking a steepward downhill turn. If only the whole world could come hide out in a place like this.
Very cool.
Fortunately, though, it's not how the world works, and you've still got to have people to save the actual world out there, otherwise, millions die.
As you mentioned the weave, he sort of like looks around at you and then looks at the 2 druids flanking behind. He stops outside the town hall and kind of pulls you forward to the side, and he's like, go wait down there 2 seconds. You two, I'll be a second. And they're like, sort of nods and then go back down. He's like, if I was you, I wouldn't mention the weave or magic to Cindermoon. The Emerald Enclave don't take kindly to mages.
No, I think I've heard about these guys before. I don't think I'll mention it to their elder.
Yes, she's very annoyed with Erixa in that jail cell at the moment. He was a mage, and went a bit kooky a couple of days back, and yeah, now they seem to blame all mages for what's happened here. I don't really believe that's
see.
myself, but yeah, I'll keep that down on a low.
That man was a mage. The man in the cage.
Yes, yeah, he was.
Filled with rage.
He was he was a brilliant mage and a scholar. He wrote stories about here, and yeah, he was fantastic. He was fascinated by how the magic worked here. One of the most intelligent people I've ever met. I know that doesn't seem like it now. Seems a bit silly.
Interesting.
Anyway, Cinder Moon awaits, and he sort of gestures for all of you to head into the town hall. So, heading into the town hall of Sapra is a long wooden hall with moss-covered tiles, woven roots for windows, and warm braziers burning incense that fill the air with a lavender scent. You see inside is a grass-covered floor instead of wood. Tables line each side of the hall for everyone to eat in the village. And at the far end of the hall sits 6 chairs, all level with the rest of the room, all woven out of root, each chair. Seems almost a bit jagged and uneven. One of the chairs, one of the middle ones, has been raised higher than the rest, almost as if it stands on a 10-foot tree trunk. It's almost woven into one, as a female elf with brown skin, long black hair, green emerald earrings that match her eyes, and a long flowing green dress sits upon as you sort of approach. The mayor kind of walks up as you walk up, and she's sort of like sitting there at the moment and kind of reaching over, and he's like, Cinder Moon, this is what was it? Sorry?
We are the Nine Hells Mercenary Company.
The Nine Hells Mercenary Company.
It's just a name. It doesn't reflect us at all. It's quite a poorly descriptive name, if I'm honest.
She's looking at you, and she's got these piercing green eyes that seem to observe each one of you in this kind of otherworldly wise kind of look. And she's like, why would a mercenary company come to our safe haven?
You see, we were teleported here by a mage, and I believe he may have messed up the spell. You know how unpredictable mages can be, and fortunately it was the only way for us to travel. But yeah, the spell overshot, and we ended up here instead of Cedarsbrook in the Gulf of Mere Forest, which is where we were aiming for.
She looks at you and she's like, so you are sympathizers of mage users, are you? Those who
No,
would
actually,
seek
it
to
was,
tear nature
I mean-
asunder and tear the world apart.
I mean, are you a
Doesn't sound like what
are you a sympathizer to the wind? The fact that something exists around you and you don't seek to destroy it doesn't mean you're a sympathizer.
I actually hate
Yes,
mages.
we deal with mages. Mages are existing in the world. They're a daily part of life for people off this island. You cannot condemn people for living in a separate world to you.
We do not condemn them. We recognise the weave is a thing and it helps nature grow to its course. What we don't agree with is the careless mages in those ivory towers over on the coast that seem to abuse it and tear it to their own volition, and to seek to tear stuff in the pursuit of their own benefit and destroy everything around them with fire and ice.
I can guarantee you none of us has ever owned an ivory tower.
And she looks at the rest of you and she's like, and what's the rest of you have to say? Do you side with this closed-minded individual?
What?
What just happened?
What are you talking about? Listen, excuse me. I'll have you know that I'm a paladin, and you are now currently interrupting divine work.
Roll a persuasion check.
It's an 11.
Okay. She's like, divine work, you say?
Yes.
What would that be? Because that is in the pursuit of the greater good of all. And that is
Yes,
something
it is.
we support.
Oh, perfect. Well, anyways, so, big giant tear in the sky. Turns out it's very evil. and I am on a divine quest to go and stop the holes in the sky with my companions here. Who are also, in fact, doing divine work too.
This is true. Glory be to Helm.
Yes, Helm's bells indeed.
And she looks at you, and she looks at you, John Claude. And you? What part do you play in the tear in the sky?
It was like that when I got there.
When did you get there? What part do you have in it?
No part. Only trying to stop it. That's my only part. Yeah, all I've done is deal with shit for like the last 6 months. It's been a nightmare. So no, no, it's not my fault. Every breath and ounce of energy for the last fuck knows how long has gone into making that go away. But every single person I've met, including my party members, seem to hinder me. I glance at Gregory Weisenhorn.
What?
I'm shocked. Shocked. Well, not that shocked.
And why do you want to stop it? What purpose do you have in it being closed?
Because I think the world might end if it doesn't. Oh wait, no, hang on. I think we're talking about different things.
She just sits there staring at you.
No, I think you were on the right lines there. The big hole in the sky that has opened up because Asarak is.
And is that's related to
Yes, yeah.
everything?
Do not,
Yeah.
I'm
All
pretty
right.
sure
do
it's
not
related.
utter
Okay.
that name here. He is a vile creature.
And we're
He
trying
is.
to kill him.
He truly is. We want to go forth from this place and stop him in his nefarious ways. I'm glad we're in agreement of this. It would have been real bad if you guys were all secret Aserite worshippers.
I said, don't utter that
sorry.
name
Sorry.
here.
Sorry.
And she's staring at you, Fiddle. I'm going to say roll a... It's not exactly deception, because you are telling the truth, but it's either deception or performance to kind of dance around the fact to kind of smooth relations over, because at the moment she seems like she's not taken to you, whereas the others she seems impartial
yeah.
with. The only one she's taken to is Gregory at the moment. That's the only one she seems to believe.
Okay. Got a 21 on my performance. I'm used to performing in front of a crowd.
Yes, okay. She looks at you and she sits back in her chair.
I say we are merely humble servants of these gods. For all that is good in the world, we are here. We are here to stand up because the prime material world will not go softly into this good night. We will not stand down whilst gods try to defile our plane. We are the four who will stand up. We are the four that will fight and say no more. We are the 9 hells. And please let us off your island.
We choose to save the world, not because it is easy, but because it is hard.
We stand together now. On the forefront of a
We'll
new
fight them on the
dawn.
beaches. We'll fight them on the landing grounds.
You see the mayor who's sat in the not sat, he's standing in the town with you. He starts going, and then he looks up and like
Yeah, I haven't noticed, but I've actually been spinning around, not spinning around, but turning to like the crowd, and like who are gathered around,
yeah.
and turning around, like throwing my arms out left and right, and I finish it by a big flourish of both hands up in the world, both hands up in the air.
Okay, so anyone who hasn't made a check yet, there's one more check to make. So I believe that's either John Claude or Soleil. She's asking, how did you end up on our island, and where do you plan to go from here?
We were teleported here, like, inaccurately. We overshot where we were aiming for, which was the Gulfamere Forest, and we spent the last several hours asking everyone we've met if we can leave as soon as possible. Please, can we leave as soon as possible?
Where are you going?
The Gulfamere Forest.
And how do you intend to get there?
With swim, if it needs be. Just let us go.
Is there any chance you have a boat we could borrow? I flutter my eyelids.
I'll say roll a persuasion check.
Yeah. Oh.
What have you got? The -1.
Oh.
Yes!
17.
17. Okay. She looks at you and she's like, Mayor Thomas? And you see him like look over and he kind of like walks forward. He's like, yes. And Elder Cedar Moon. Cinder Moon, sorry. And she's like,
Don't fuck this for us, Mayor Thomas. Don't make her angry.
I'm so sorry. And she's like, you'll give them one of our fishing barges. It should be enough to get them towards the coastline, and from there they can continue on their divine quest to save the realms. And he's like, yes, your lady, of course. And he starts kind of like bowing and walking and bowing. He's like, bow to the lady, everyone.
I bow.
Thank you very much. Bow forward.
And are you all following Mayor Thomas back out again, are you?
Oh, excuse me.
Yeah. Fuck,
Yes.
Fuck off. I mean,
No.
Gregory, we're so close.
Our
We're so
weapons.
close to having. Yeah, we'll get them later.
Mayor Thomas will give them to you on your departure.
Oh, thank you very much, my lady, and your antlers are very fetching. Okay.
She doesn't seem to.
We will hold our breath.
She doesn't
We will
react
hold our breath as
at
we
all
walk
to
out.
that. And yeah, she lets you go. Good luck on your travels, all of you. Nine Hells Company. And then she looks back at you.
Thank you.
You fiddle with a bit of scorn before going back once more to a chair, and the chair rises up again 10 feet as you all leave the town
Can
square.
I give her a big wave?
I seriously, at this point, do not trust her or anybody else. We have met this entire day, and it's taken my entire strength not to just run away and go and hide somewhere. Because I don't trust anyone at all, but I do trust the Nine Hells. And Gregory has been saying I'm quite paranoid recently, so I'm going to trust fully in him to maneuver our way out of this.
Okay.
Not a fan of any of this, but my love for Gregory is pulling us through.
Appreciate that.
So,
Slightly weird.
Mayor Thomas leads you down towards the docks where there's like a row of fishing barges. It almost seems like straight out of Moana almost. There's all these like rafts.
As soon as we're outside of the room with the elder, I get fucking hell. Nine Hells. That might be the first interaction with like a person of authority that has gone well. Ever for us, ever.
Congratulations.
We are not in the Gulfmere Forest yet.
We're not in the government forest yet,
Yes,
but
and
I
we
think
also
that was
don't
the
have
most
our weapons.
successful interaction we've ever had. But we're also not fighting currently. That's a step
That's
up.
true.
It's a step up. She doesn't seem overly pissed off with us.
We're not ending the day almost dead.
Exactly.
It's
Exactly.
true, yes, and we didn't have to go in the shit room.
Exactly. This is a thoroughly successful day. So far.
Yes, I'm still quite warm though.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, it's a little bit cooler on the coast here, but still very humid. As Mayor Thomas leads you to the raft, and he's like, you see there's two of the young druids there with the bags of weapons that kind of place them down, and they start speaking once more, like, and the other one starts laughing as they're like walking off. As Mayor Thomas is like, I'd hate to ask this, but do one of you know how to sail? Or
Shit.
Yes,
do I
sir.
need to fetch someone who knows how to sail to bring the boat back?
No.
JC jumps forward.
I think I could probably get us there.
Okay, right. So
Excuse me, Mayor.
yes,
It might be too much to ask, but your mage who went crazy.
yes.
I'm I don't know. I obviously don't want to overstep the mark or anything. I don't want to, But do you know what's happening to him?
No,
What's your plan with him going forward?
no idea. He's we're not really sure what to do with him, to be honest. He's beloved here, to be honest, but he's a bit of a danger to everyone. So we've sort of locked him up. He belongs in Allagan. That's where he's got a home there. But yeah, he's not really fit for travel at the moment.
Would you I believe the thing that is affecting the world is affecting him. The weave is being, displaced as such. I believe Mistra has been killed, and anybody who has access to the weave will be feeling the effects of it. I myself have, and different mages will feel it in different ways. This is by far the most severe case I've seen so far. Would you like me to take charge of him? I would very much like to.
Fiddle, we're not taking
take him-
shit, guy.
If I
We're not
take him away
taking
from
shit,
here
guy.
on the boat with us, Gregory, please listen. We can take him away from this island, take him to the shore. I will be able to cast a spell and send him to Candlekeep, where they can look after him for one, and maybe study him for two.
He's washing his hands first.
Roll a persuasion check.
Yeah, it's a 22.
He looks around and he's like, well,
I can help him.
Cindermoon says that he did that to himself for abusing the weave. But you're saying that it was something else.
It is fully beyond his control. I understand why Cindermoon sees it that way, but that man needs help. You know he does. We can take him. Nobody will be any the wiser. We'll be on the boat, before anybody even notices.
Well,
How about we go and get on the boat? You go and collect him, bring him straight to the boat, and we'll leave as soon as he's on board. Would it be possible? Does he have possessions? Any writings or spell books or something that might lead us to figure out what's
no,
wrong?
he's
with
got
him?
his robes that he took off to use as a cloth to clean off the wool and then start drawing again.
I see. But he doesn't have a spell book.
No, what's one of them?
It's like a book that a mage keeps around with all of his writings.
Oh, he's got a load of journals and stuff. Yes. Yeah, he keeps them in his room.
that sort of thing. Yes. Yeah. Would it be possible to grab those
Yes.
as well? They could prove invaluable in fighting what's
Yes, of
happening.
course. Yes, I'll go fetch him. And you see him
Thank
walk
you.
over to the
Thank you very
smithy, and he's like, "Come here, boy." And you see the boy who was like making a sword, puts it down and comes over. He's like, "This is my son, Philip. I'm the smithy here, and he's trains for me while I work part time as the mayor." He's like, "Say hello, Philip."
Nice
He's
to
like,
meet you,
So
Philip.
did he just
hello.
say what's part-time
He's like-
as a mayor? What?
He did say he was the
What do you mean
part-time mayor when he first came
part-time?
over to us. No, lots of societies have a part-time mayor. It's not a full-time
Yeah,
job.
so we all
You know.
we all swap roles here. This is how we do things, We all help each other out.
Seems like a very good society. I'm not going to lie. Are you elected?
Well, yes, people ask. It's like when someone needs to step down and someone needs to do a role, they're like, "Does anyone want to do it?" And I'm like, "Well, I don't mind." And then they're like, "Yeah, you can do a good job."
Seems like a good
Yeah,
system.
I'm not forced to. I quite enjoy it actually. It's quite fun.
I'm sure.
Right, Philip,
sure.
and he's like, "Yes, Dad." And he's like, "Do you mind going with these lads? And then once they're over on the other side of the shore, bring the boat back with us, will you?" And he's like, "Okay, yep, sure. Where are we going?" He's like, "Well, the nearest settlement from here is Allagan. Would that serve for you? It helps with Erixa as well. That's where he lives, unless you're planning on sending him elsewhere." I'll say just for this to wrap it up. Mayor Thomas goes back, gets
Yeah.
Erixa. So this is how he spells his name. Forces the shitty robes on him. Gives him his book, sends him on his way. He seems kooky as hell as he gets onto the barge, and you see Philip gets on as well, and they sort of help you set the sails. And Mayor Thomas is like, "Right, just get past that reef, the opening with the water elementals, and don't spook them, all right? Because they will destroy the boat. I've seen it happen half a dozen times now. Just ignore them, pretend they're not even there, sail past. It should be about 6 hours, roughly, to Allegan, and then you should arrive at the city walls.
Sounds pretty good. Sounds
Alright,
pretty good.
and he looks over and he's like, "Oh, hold on a second," and he walks over, goes into a smithy. About 2 minutes later, he comes out with like a little basket full of baguettes, grapes, foods, different sort of stuff. He's like, "Something for your trip," and kind of hands it over to you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. This is honestly wonderful town you have.
Thank you very much. It's actually a city. Remember that it's
Yeah,
a
wonderful
city.
city you
It
have,
is a city.
Sorry. Of course, you've got a mayor. That's a mayor.
He says that with no assurance whatsoever. Like he does. He has to say that. So as you have your little hamper and you start setting sail out from the little harbour of Sapra, and you sail out past a little coral reefs that form a natural fortification around the island. You pass 6 elementals, 3 either side, that seem to just bob up and down looking forwards as you join the seas, heading towards the distant horizon and towards John Claude's Bakery, home of Allegan.
Mm-hmm. You excited to go home, JC?
I think so.
Bust the door down. Hey, you little shit. How's my bakery doing?
Well, if you remember from like the last correspondence you had with Pierre, it wasn't going too well. So
No, it wasn't.
So far, Ollie, I think this might be the most D&D feeling thing we've ever done.